Alright, let's be honest. We all want to be liked. Even that one person who says, I don't care what people think, secretly cares just a little bit. It's human nature. But here's the thing. Nobody wants to be fake. You don't want to turn into some overly polished, smiling too hard, nodding too much robot just to win people over. That's weird and exhausting. And honestly, it's what sociopaths do in movies right before they start a cult. So today, we're going to talk about how to be more likable without changing who you are. No pretending, no acting like someone you saw in a TED Talk. Just being you, only like the best possible version of you. The version of you that people actually want to sit next to on a plane. And don't worry, I'm not about to give you some weird hacks like mirror people's body language or say their name a lot until they start wondering if you're a debt collector. We're going for real, genuine likability here. So let's get into it. First things first, the most likable people? They're not trying to be likable. That's the magic trick. They're just being themselves in a way that naturally makes others feel comfortable and good about themselves. And that's the key. Likability isn't about you. It's about how people feel when they're around you. Think about the most likable person you know. They probably make you laugh, or they listen to you like you're actually interesting, or they just have this way of making things fun. But I bet they don't walk into a room and go, "Alright, let's activate charm mode." They just are. So let's talk about the stuff that actually makes someone likable without them even trying too hard. Okay, quick story. I once knew a guy who was, let's just say, not naturally charismatic. He wasn't the loudest, funniest, or most impressive person in the room, but everyone loved him. Why? Because he had this magical ability to make you feel important. If you talked to him, he made you feel like you were the only person in the room. No distractions, no, oh hold on, let me check my phone really quick. Just full attention. And that's rarer than a social media influencer who actually uses the products they promote. And then there was me in high school. So awkward I once waved back at someone who was waving at the person behind me. But you know what I learned? If you can laugh at yourself and own the awkward moments, people love that. Instead of dying inside, which I did for about a week, I turned it into a running joke. Every time someone waved in my general direction, I dramatically confirmed, me or them? Boom. Instant conversation starter. People love to feel seen. And the fastest way to be likable is to actually care about people. Groundbreaking, right? But for real, if you can make someone feel heard, you're instantly more likable than 90% of people out there. And that doesn't mean you have to sit there nodding dramatically while someone tells you about their pet's new diet plan. It just means be present, ask follow-up questions, react, make them feel like you actually care, even if you don't 100% care about their cat's gluten intolerance. And honestly, why is that even a thing now? Now, another thing that makes people immediately likable? Not taking themselves too seriously. Listen, confidence is great, but you know what's even better? Being okay with looking a little stupid sometimes. Think about it. Who's more fun to be around? The person who's super polished, perfect, and never laughs at themselves? Or the person who's willing to admit they just walked into a glass door and then laugh about it? True story. I once walked straight into a glass door because I was convinced it was automatic. Spoiler alert, it was not. Instead of pretending it didn't happen, which was impossible because the thud was loud, I turned to the nearest person and said, "Just making sure it's sturdy. You're welcome." Instant laughs. Instant likability. See, owning your awkward moments makes you way more approachable. It tells people, I'm not here to impress you, I'm just here to exist. And sometimes existence is clumsy. And honestly, that's way more fun to be around. Another thing? Likable people don't make conversations a competition. You ever talk to someone who just has to one-up everything? You, "Oh, I went to Italy once." Them, "Oh, I lived in Italy for 6 years and I'm basically fluent in Italian, and also I personally know the Pope." Like, okay, relax, Giuseppe. The best way to be likable in conversations is to share the spotlight, not steal it. Be excited for people. Let them tell their stories without trying to outdo them. Hype them up. It makes you way more fun to talk to, and people will actually want to be around you. Also, super simple one, smiling. And no, I don't mean forcing some creepy grin the entire time. Just, look like you enjoy being alive. You ever talk to someone whose face is just permanently stuck in bored mode? You're telling a story, and they just look blank, like a sleep-deprived DMV employee. If you want people to enjoy being around you, look like you enjoy being there too. And now, the underrated secret weapon of likability: good energy. I used to work with someone who treated every Monday morning like it was the apocalypse. The energy was unbearable. So, I started a tradition called Compliment Mondays. Every Monday, I'd walk in and just say the most random hype-up compliment to someone. Wow, Brian, your ability to staple documents is artistry. People started looking forward to it, and suddenly, Mondays sucked a little less. That's what I mean by good energy. People are naturally drawn to others who bring good vibes. It's like, if you show up already assuming the day's gonna suck, that energy spreads. But if you walk in with a, hey, this is gonna be fun vibe, people pick up on that, and suddenly, you're the person they want to be around. There's an old rule that says you should listen 80% of the time and talk 20%. Now, am I saying you should whip out a stopwatch during conversations? No, but most people don't realize how much they dominate conversations. Next time you're talking to someone, do a little mental check. Am I giving them space to share? Am I asking questions instead of just waiting for my turn to speak? When you get this right, people will literally walk away from a conversation with you thinking, wow, I love talking to them. Even if you barely said anything. That's the magic. Want people to love being around you? Become a world-class hype person. I'm not saying you have to follow your friends around with a microphone and a smoke machine, but throwing out a well-timed "okay, I see you" when someone shows up in a new outfit, elite social move, or when someone tells a cool story, gas them up a little. Wait, you did what? That's legendary. It's such an easy way to make people feel good, and guess what? When people feel good around you, they want to be around you more. Okay, so let's recap real quick. Oh wait, actually, let's not. You've been paying attention, right? But seriously, being likable isn't about being perfect or saying all the right things. It's about making people feel good, not taking yourself too seriously, actually listening, and bringing good energy. And the best part? You don't have to change who you are to do any of that. You just have to be the version of you that's present, engaged, and down to have a good time. So, go forth and be the effortlessly likable human I know you are. And hey, if this video helped, maybe hit that like button, subscribe. No pressure. I mean, I'd like you more if you did, but your call.